You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Attack on Titan After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Attack on Titan After Show.
Yeah, see, Steven is engineering today, and he knows to blast the music because it's so awesome. So, joining me today, John Quick.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
And the lovely Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies.
And next to me, Megan Salinas.
Titan! She's here! I'm so happy!
And guys, I'm Dave Klein. Yeah, Megan sadly could not join us last week, but she'll be here. She actually is the one who organized this.
Her cousin was getting married.
I told you her cousin's awesome. You hush.
That was an important life
You
event.
hush.
Why did you use quotations around the word cousin?
He doesn't believe in your cousin.
Because that was more important than Mother's Day. By the way, Happy Mother's Day,
Happy
everybody.
Mother's Day.
Happy
Speaking
Mother's
of
Day.
which, I have a Mother's Day special thing for everybody. Steven, if you can put that up on the board.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what did you
This is
do?
not going to
Okay, it's
end
gonna
well.
be a
What
second.
did you do?
Oh.
I saw it. It's very fitting. It's
The
Mother's
anticipation
Day.
is killing me.
No.
You did something terrible.
There,
didn't
well,
you?
now
Oh, I'm sure he
now
did
there's going to
something
be a
terrible.
lead up that is not. Like, this is getting overhyped real fast.
I don't think it is getting over
Every
hype.
second that passes makes it worse in our minds.
That's very true.
It's pretty bad, guys. I'm afraid to put it up. That's why it's taking so long.
No, it's not. It's nothing. It's just. It's Mother's Day and it's Attack on Titan. What could be wrong with mixing those two things?
This can.
We had YouTube comments.
For those of you listening, and on the screen
Happy
right now,
Mother's Day.
Screen right now is
Moses'
Moses.
is
Just
Moses' arm.
Moses.
And you know, well, every mother
Happy
wants
Mother's
on
Day
It's just-
in beautiful pink font. How
It's-
sweet.
It's Moses' hand. Happy Mother's Day.
You're a
Just
terrible
what everybody
person.
wants. Thank you.
Okay, I thought it was going to be Eren's mom, so that is 1,000% less bad than I thought it would be. Better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, after John
Well,
made the graph, I was thinking Aaron's mom, but I was like, actually, this is better because it's like, this is a gift.
It's a Mother's Day
It's a Mother's Day
present.
present.
Here's your son's arm. Don't ask where the rest of it is.
It comes in handy.
I thought we had made it past those puns.
That's
You have
one for
never
today.
made it past those puns.
One
you
for
should
today.
know this.
But something we didn't get to talk about last week was the dub. So this week we actually had a chance to watch the dub, the Toonami version of the show, and we got to actually listen to the new voice actors. And all of us, we've all watched the show in Japanese, so I believe this is all of our first experience with the English dub. So what did you guys all think?
I think for the most part, it's a very fitting cast. I think you were saying Mikasa and Armin like fit perfectly.
Yeah. Trina Shinamura is, I believe, Mikasa's voice actress. Armin, I forget what the voice actor's name, but this is like his first major role. He's always been like, and additional voices, like his IMDb just, reads background character.
Considering the spotlight that's on this series, it's a hell of a first role.
Yeah.
I mean, a
first
lot of these,
primary role.
a lot of these voice actors, though, like they really haven't done much. And I'm actually glad to see new talent being discovered in a way and given a chance, because a lot of times you just get stuck like, let's use Stephen Bloom again, let's use Johnny Young Bosch again, let's use these actors again over and over again. And I feel like you never really break out of that mold.
And we'll see familiar faces
Although I will-
or hear familiar voices later on, like Caitlin Glass is Pietra, I think. So we'll be seeing them later
Although
on.
The really well-known names aren't going to come around until later on in the series, because they have quite a few known voice actors there, but it's all spoilers.
I will say, speaking
all
on
later.
Johnny Young Bosch, that's the one voice I love. That's the one voice actor I love to see.
I was hoping that he'd be brought in to do Eren, but I'm guessing he's too pricey for now.
Well, and actually, the person they have to do Eren, his name is escaping
Bryce
me. right now.
Papenbrook.
Yeah, he's done several leads before.
Yeah.
If you go to his Twitter, his cover art is just a bunch of different anime characters. So he
Okay.
has quite the resume.
He's the
Let's
lead
test
in
that
Blue
there.
Exorcist actually right now, which is also on Toonami. He was the leader of the the yellow scarves. I have no idea what the character's name is, and do rah rah rah. So
See, like, I kind of agree with that, though. I feel like, to me, Johnny Young Bosch, and maybe it's just my bias because I love Johnny Young Bosch. But I feel like his voice, yeah, that's really... Actually, speaking of which, John and I were just watching Trigun Badlands today for the first time.
Oh, that's
Yes.
such a fun one.
It was fun.
I'm so glad they got him back for that.
Regardless, I really feel like Johnny Young Bosch's voice would have fit this character personally.
Well, let's do a dream casting. For our three main characters, who would you, in an ideal world, who would you let? Like, we're not, totally just saying like, oh, the current cast sucks. We're just saying that if we had unlimited money and we could put it together, who would we want as Armin, Mikasa, and Eren?
I think Greg Ayers would make a really good Armin. Nobody knows who that is.
I don't know. Who that is.
Chrono and Chrono Crusade,
Oh,
Goku
okay.
and Gensamaden Sayuki, at least the first season. Yeah. He does that mild voice really well.
I heard rumors that Lauren Bailey was actually going to be Mikasa.
I love Laura Bailey. She's
great.
She was Blue Gender, one of my favorite animes.
Yeah, and she was the lead for Soul Eater. She was Maka.
Yeah.
And so I really like her. So I was perfectly content when I heard that as a rumor. I'm sure the current cast is going to be fine. But yeah, I like her. She's the lead on tons of stuff. So I think she would have been good.
I think honestly the only one for me I would have liked would have been Johnny Young Bosch, as you said, and I mean that's just because honestly he does a really good voice for that type of character. I feel like. And just even outside of Trigun, Paranoia Agents, he played a younger kid in that show, kind of a bratty kid, which sort of fits Eren.
Sort of.
Yeah, it kind of fits Eren a lot.
Right now, the voice is it feels a little off because he's a 9-year-old. But I think again, once we actually see Eren flying around on the 3D gear, the voice is going to sound perfect.
Well, I mean, like, it's not that I dislike this voice. I just say I really love Johnny Young Bosch when he does these types of roles. But I agree, though. I do like these characters in general. I'll say, like, Mikasa, actually, I really like this voice actress for Mikasa. I think she's doing a fantastic job, at least in this episode. So we'll see how she does eventually.
I would almost like to hear Tara Strong come in and basically do Raven over Mikasa.
That would be so awesome.
Given Tara Strong's stable of roles, you could ask for anything over Mikasa, and it would be hilarious.
Oh my god. Could you imagine Bubbles over Mikasa?
Do and take his bubbles, please.
Twilight Sparkle.
All right, well, let's go ahead.
The true meaning of friendship, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, moving
right, let's
on.
go ahead and
Let's
move
actually
forward.
talk about the episode.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move forward to the actual episode and the recap of the episode itself. And we start with a hand. So, speaking of hands, again.
Welcome back, Moses.
So, if you
More
guys
than
wouldn't
one.
mind giving me
High
a hand on this
five.
recap, let's get started.
I'd rather point the finger.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
So
like,
we get the preacher kind of talking over and everything. This kind of made me like think about that. Pretty much like you get all these preachers in every rapture situation, and in real life too.
I don't think this was a rapture situation. I think we went past the rapture.
Sure.
Now we're full blown
we're in the
apocalypse.
But I mean,
Yeah.
apocalypse, rapture. I mean, like in the cartoon Hercules, there's the preacher too who is preaching the rapture.
the end is coming. Can't you feel
but it just makes me wonder. Like, you get all these preachers in real life, and I wonder how they would really react were the apocalypse happening for real. I wonder what their real reactions would
I
be.
think
The real
it
life
depends on
rapture.
how in touch with reality they are.
I think they'd still be down on 3rd Street Santa Monica with their yellow signs.
They're like, would they be celebrating like I was right, or would they
I was right.
actually
We're
be
all
afraid?
gonna die.
You know, honestly, I think just like this, it'd be just like this guy. They're just gonna keep their rants like running louder. Just, I guess, is just
As they're
one
getting eaten.
Yeah, is one final middle finger in the air to all the non-believers. Of course, we're like, it was actually interesting because we were hearing like excerpts from their holy book, which whatever that is called, because that guy was definitely part of the Wall cult,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely what it's part of.
and so
The Weibel?
the Bible, yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever, there was no title on the book. It was just like, you know, brown leather bound and got covered in blood.
I think we should start calling it the Weibel.
The-
Weibel.
I like to
Call it the Weibel.
the Weibel. You have to have a question mark at the end of it too. I'll keep on adding things to it. So Eren is absolutely pissed at Hans.
Gee, I wonder why.
I don't know why. But Hans, though, he actually is embarrassed about his cowardice, so he's not...
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's actually
and
upset about
it makes up so much of just how embarrassed and how bad he feels while everyone is dying around him. Can the Garrison Corps be any more useless? Like,
Well, probably, but
well,
I think Katie brought up a great point. I mean, the fact that, like, you have them all bringing out the cannons, at least I think it was Katie who brought up this point while we were watching.
I was the one making jokes about how do we work the cannons?
or is it John who's saying, like, why is nobody using the 3D gear?
yeah, that's what
He
I
made the
okay.
good point.
Like, yeah, it's
I
like-
made dumb jokes. That's how it works.
And their cannon work was definitely ready, fire, aim. Damn it! All right, no, guys, all right. What you guys remember training? What's the order on that again?
But they did say that the cannons
Fire,
were really
fire.
old and not meant to aim.
Yeah.
So
but still,
they do have a point there.
But it is, why are they not using the 3D gear?
Because they are drunk as hell.
Probably.
I still maintain that. I mean, I agree. That's a good point. But you sober
Totally
up.
drunk
You
as
do
hell.
sober up pretty quickly when real life hits you in the face like this.
I guess no one wants to go slinging through the air when your pants are that wet.
Well,
Maybe that's...
and it also kind of depends on like, you know, what part of the city they're in. Maybe this particular district doesn't have like necessarily the building size, you know, meant for 3D gear use.
But Titan's heads have the building size.
Yeah.
Because that's not dangerous when you're completely out of practice and lazy.
Just because it's been 100 years, and just because who knows how long it's been since basic training.
They're less focused on actually, you know, putting up like a defense and actually doing a counterattack, and more concerned with actually evacuating the citizens,
Yeah.
trying to keep the peace that way. And you have
Yeah.
to do that on the ground.
I think,
So maybe I'm not defending them. I'm just trying to find some logic.
I guess like you think like there'd be like one order attacking and trying to hold them back, and one order doing what you were saying, which is trying to keep the
Do
peace
they
and
have that
organize.
many people?
It doesn't seem like it.
You don't build up your army during peacetime or at least stalemate.
Well, and we also have to keep in mind that these are the guys, you know, from the academy who get to
weren't
be on the
good enough.
So maybe they're just not good at
Yeah.
using
Well, they're-
3D
Should
gear.
be in the interior drinking tea and eating diamonds or whatever they do in there.
Delicious. Diamonds are delicious. Not forever.
Not forever at all.
No.
Advertising campaigns. Anyway.
Well, speaking of the military, what they're doing, they're trying to get the gate closed to Wall Maria, because apparently where we were initially was sort of an outlying area. It wasn't actually within Wall Maria.
They talk about that in order to like concentrate the Titans in like certain areas, so they don't have to like spread everybody out along these massive walls, they have basically what are feeding pens, and it's just like a bunch of people on these like littler walled sections where they know, since the Titans seem to instinctually know where humans are, so they'll just congregate at those areas. So if there's ever an attack, they think that right here's kind of the choke point. Well, we'll have them like kind of go through, and we'll be able to apparently piss ourselves and run away. But you know,
And then.
And then, Colossal Titan number 2!
Armor Titan.
Armor Titan.
Armor Titan.
it's the Armor Titan.
Sorry, Armor Titan.
Denied.
It's still a bigger Titan than the other ones, okay?
Well, they don't refer to it as the Armor Titan until later, so yeah.
It's a bigger one that
Robot
has nothing
Titan.
but
Now
muscle.
it's
Robot
just holy
Titan.
shit. What is that? That's its
That's
designation.
what it's called.
Yeah, but yeah, it really is
He
like
takes
Robot
a
Titan.
running start. You see him actually like get into position and then just plow through everything in his way until he makes it through the wall.
And really, the thing to notice about this Titan too is that it's a deliberate attempt, as you're
Yeah,
saying. It's not the other ones who are just like.
This actually, to me, like it was different than when the Colossal Titan kicked the door in, so to speak. This is where I was like, something's odd about this. Like, this seems like something deliberate, because none of the Titans look smart. Like, you know, they're all just kind of very vacant-eyed. They're just kind of meandering around. That was intentional.
This
And
one's like. I
that
got
one's
this.
focused.
Yeah. Like,
Would you notice that he didn't have like eyes? It was just like it was almost like it was like whited over. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing expressive.
he
to
looked
it.
like Robo Titan.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
thought he was a robot.
Right, he shoots fire out of his mouth.
Steam.
Steam. It looks like fire.
Steam.
And it
Titans
even, like,
don't.
it
This
even
isn't
sounded
Iron
like-
Man 3. The villains don't breathe fire.
No, it's God Gojira.
And then after that, then we have like the different cutaways that's going on. But the interesting thing we never really, the Colossal Titan just kind of like shrinks out of view because the wall is massive.
Yeah, and he just kind of backed away and disappeared.
Yeah, but like the Armor
Peace
Titan,
out.
he bursts through the wall and everyone's staring at him. And then what does he just kind of like stand up and it's like, well, I guess talk to you guys later. And does he turn and go?
He's just like, that was it.
We don't see him turn away.
It's a
just
very
see him
clever
stands
jump
there.
cut to nothing.
But yeah, we
he
just see
could
it.
tap dance out of the wall for all we know.
He just breaks through, strikes his victory pose, and is like, I'm a badass, breathe steam, fire, whatever. And then it's just like, all right.
Now
Well, I guess I'll go. See you guys.
Line.
And I was really wondering too. I was like, okay, well, clearly this is the end because they're going to break through the next two walls, but they don't.
Right.
Like I figured that when he burst through that wall, like purposely, that it was just going to be a matter of time before they broke through the next two. But it doesn't happen. Like you said, he just stands there.
Yeah.
You can just see them going, guys, I'm totally going to break down the first wall. Oh my God, that sounds like a great idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break down the second one. That'll really mess with their heads. Nice. And then we can go get pizza. Yeah, let's get pizza.
Yeah, that's like, I'm tired after that. I gotta go lay down. But
shift's over.
while this is all happening, though, they're concentrating everybody on the boats. And we've got, fortunately for us as viewers, Eren, Armin, and Mikasa have made it onto the boat. So, including, we meet Armin's grandfather on the boat as well, who's wearing that hat, which is going to come in important a little bit later on. But they sail through, and then Eren comes to his giant declaration as they come through. I will kill every last Titan. So the declaration.
Yeah, just so you guys know,
Best of
your
luck with that,
antagonist
kid.
your protagonist for the rest of the series is certifiably insane. Like he's
Duh.
he's lost his shit, and there's no dealing with it. I mean, we also saw Mikasa have like a bit of a PTSD flashback.
Yeah,
which
to
is
something where we're like, what was that?
Yeah, so, like, well, before we get to that, we should talk about the merch lords.
The merchant lords is
And that they're talking about, well, Maria should hold, right? We'll be fine. And no, it doesn't. So
That's the exact
And then a
opposite of
messenger
what
shows
happened.
up. You should know this. Well, Maria didn't hold.
once again the Garrison Corps being useless. How about that?
Yay. Well, admittedly, they wouldn't have been able to stop the armored titan. Anyway, it took a cannonball to the chest and shook it off.
yeah, and you also see like right next to it as that happens, a normal Titan getting blasted by one and just getting blown away. So
And so, yeah,
just that
you
difference.
really see how different the two
Yeah.
are.
So yeah, but after that we do get that thing with Eren where he's has that dream, this crazy dream about his father. And first we get his father like praying and hoping that Eren and Mikasa are alive and normal time.
Where
but then
the hell were you, dude?
But then what is the dream? Well, I mean, he was on his mission to go, like
He was barely outside the inner gate, like when this shit went down.
Because
then
you
you go, "I'm gonna
totally
keep
want to go back
going."
in when there's a whole bunch of titans going
You're
in.
too-
You're going to go to ground and wait for it to blow over.
But then the real question, though, is like, really, though, the dream, and then somehow, unless I'm mistaken, Eren didn't have the key, and now he has the key.
Yeah.
And nobody says anything.
And he also has a shot.
Everybody just accepts it.
Mikasa's like, what? But I have a feeling that Mikasa is just like, tragic shit happens. She now just goes, oh yeah, I guess this is gonna be my life again. Shrug and go. That's her.
She's like, whatever.
forget the
can't
details.
look
But it's
back.
We
also
are
just
done.
like, oh, you're having a nightmare again, and it's just like,
Must be Tuesday.
Well,
but was
what-
it a nightmare?
Well, when he, first of all, when Eren's father is, on using a carriage and, just riding through the forest and, thinking, please be alive, everybody, that made me wonder. I was like, well, we don't know where he is. We don't know where he's going. We don't know what he's up to. I was
How
like,
did he get
know
the
this was gonna
news?
happen? Like, well, you could probably guess by hearing screaming and stuff like that. But
That
it's
screaming's
like, did
gonna
he
have to
know
echo
it was
a
gonna
long way.
happen?
Well, it was happening during the middle of the night. He was riding through in that carriage at night, so it could have just been that word got to him at that point.
Yeah, but we still don't know where he's going or what he's up to.
Or where the hell he is now.
Or
because
why he gave his key, to Eren and then
he
peaced
gave
out.
his key and then, shot him full of something, whatever that is, and then, okay, your kids are now in a refugee camp. It's...
Father of the year, everybody.
I guess it's time
Anime
to
dads.
peace out.
Well, speaking of this refugee
Creepy
camp,
syringe time.
they're running out of bread. They're running out of food in
Food.
general, which is a big important theme. And then the guards clearly better fed. Eren mad at the guards, completely contempt over all the people wanting food, and really acting like total dicks, I guess you could say. I don't know a better way to
We
put
should
it.
feed these people to the Titans.
Like, God, we need to feed
Seriously, that's
people.
what they said.
Well, and
The thing-
lo and behold.
And they've never seen the Titans.
Yeah, the
Some
thing-
of them have been fed to the Titans, so
the
it's
thing
not...
to bear in mind, though, is like first off, we know the Garrison Corps is useless, and then these are the guys that patrolled Wall Rosé, so they've never even seen a Titan like on patrol duty up top. They've seen pictures of them, and that's it. They have less of a clue than the guys that were ahead before. And so if the guys that were in Shiganshina were totally useless, these guys have to be less than useless.
Exponentially more useless.
And then that guy's like found the declaration of, it's like, just reminded who's going hungry so that you can have food. It's not you, jackass.
Super entitled, yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
Armin...
no one in the military is going hungry.
Armin again having his moment though as the talker and breaking up tension, and again showing off that element of his character.
And he's definitely smart enough to keep Eren out of trouble for the most part. And
After
now.
Eren goes barreling headfirst into trouble.
and we'll
Shonen
probably-
protagonist.
We'll probably we see that this is kind of going to be a common thing.
Aaron, you want to
Oh,
win,
yeah.
you should have kicked him in the balls instead of the shin.
Yes!
By the way. That would have dropped him. But yeah, so then Aaron just breaking into Armin for intervening and kind of being a brat again. So, and Mikasa stepping up.
Kicks his
Some
ass.
muscle
Mikasa
play.
hits him with the fist of reason. That
Yeah.
seems to...
Well, because Eren's acting like he's the only one that's lost something, and he's
Yeah.
not. They're
Right.
all, they've all lived through this tragedy, and no one came out of it unscathed.
And then...
And well, then we're also getting
Gonna
that
be a
the
theme.
and then we're also getting that the Titans are the top of the food chain, and that
Yeah.
whole element from her that they're the top and we are parasites. So, kind of that mentality that they're going under.
And she even said, like, they couldn't even flee properly.
Right.
That Hans had to pick them up and, like, run them out. They couldn't have saved themselves if they
Yeah.
had wanted to.
And Mikasa sort of makes
Slice
a little
of humble
declaration
pie.
of her own, too. She's like, your mom didn't tell us to be brave. She wanted us to live, and I'm going to make sure that happens. She's gonna take care of him.
She serves Aaron a nice slice of humble pie. So let's but
Mikasa's broken in a different way.
yeah,
Yeah.
but more on that later. So outlier
Yeah.
districts are declared a loss, and they all have to stay behind Wall Rosé. But even with this, there's there's kind of this food shortage. So why don't we send 250,000 people out to try to reclaim Wall Maria?
That's a
Wonderful
great
idea, including Armin's grandfather.
The last living family for any of our protagonists, with the exception of Eren's dad, because who knows where the hell he went.
Yeah.
it's-
That was probably the worst thing, like watching this, like we just, 10,000 people died when the wall was broken into, and now 250,000
Yeah.
went out.
200 survived though, or less than
Less than
200.
200.
No, but still, less than 200 survived.
Well, I mean, yeah, they
Okay,
said...
248,000 people.
But again, I think that just sort of sets a tone for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
The government really isn't interested in fighting the Titans. Nobody is. Everyone wants to just sit behind the walls and forget that anything is happening. And
That's a smart idea.
This is the bad ending for Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It is.
Without the robots. Which
Without the robots.
we need robots in this
We
series.
need
That
robots
problem
in
would be
Attack
gone
on
forever.
Titan.
But yeah,
Steampunk robots.
We really are bringing
Watch that.
It really would be an Attack on Titan at that point.
but it does really make you question the government, because it's like first they don't want people learning about the outside world. We found out last week, and now this week they're not even concerned with really fighting, as you point out, fighting back.
And they're willing to sacrifice.
They're just like, let's just hide behind the
so
walls again.
much
Ev-
for that to keep that.
Right.
To keep the status quo.
Because it's like, even though this didn't work for Wall Maria, it'll work for Wall Rosé, right?
Yeah, and well, just even notice, like, they sent, like, the guys that, like, were Scout Legion, that were wearing, like, the Wings of Freedom going out, like, they were at least on horses, and they actually had 3D gear. Everybody else, they were just like, you just go, whatever you're wearing, yeah, that's good enough. You can fight
Maybe if
a
you're lucky, you get a
tall giant. Yes,
Maybe if you're lucky, you get a pitchfork.
Yeah, but stick him in the ankles.
250,000 unarmed people.
Let's
face it, they were sent to slaughter.
Yeah, that was not an offensive. Like,
No.
So after this, we get that Armin's father is killed, and he's clearly, I mean, for good reason, upset about it.
His grandfather.
Or grandfather, sorry, his grandfather is killed. So Eren decides and declares he's going to join the military cadets. Armin's with him, Mikasa's with him. Do you guys think that Armin would have been with them had his grandfather not died
Most
during
likely.
this initiative?
It's hard to say, but I
Because
think
this is like
so.
in the middle of that
Yeah.
moment when he declares it.
I think Armin would have followed Eren and Mikasa pretty much like
Anywhere.
at that point, and that's just kind of like. But I do think that really like cemented his resolve. I think he would
Yeah.
eventually have come to that conclusion if once he had thought everything over. But
yeah, now they're the only family he has left.
yeah.
So with that note, we should wrap up and end the episode to say that we come to them actually joining. So they're joining it. They're going to be joining the military, and we meet Kif
12.
Shardis.
Yeah, they're-
12 years old, everyone. These kids are 12.
Well, that's when you start training. You're not there yet. You got to start training. You're
Yeah,
a military
what is it?
kid.
Well,
What,
For
is
the
it
ripe
3
old
years?
shonen protagonist
What were-
age of 15.
What were you doing at 12 years of age? Were you joining the military?
I was playing video games pretending I was in the military.
Yeah, this totally puts middle school in a whole other perspective.
It really was. You think you had a hard middle school?
I was watching
At
The
least you didn't have
Matrix
to
and The
eat as your
Mummy.
PE
Then
teacher.
you're going through awkward
Master Xehanort is your PE teacher. That's what he looks like.
going through awkward puberty as you're learning to, fight things that are just going to easily murder you. Like, have fun.
Good luck with that, kids.
But guys, I'm going to go back to my safe home where I don't have to worry about Titans killing and eating me and crushing me. And thank you so much for joining us this week on Attack on Titan. Again, if you guys want to watch the live show, that's every single week at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on AfterBuzzTV.com. Just go to AfterBuzzTV.com. You can join in on the live chat, and we will chat with you guys on the live chat if you want to. And we will see you guys next time. Once again, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein. That's Klein.
Hi, I'm Megan, and you can follow me on Twitter at @TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. And don't forget to go to iTunes and slap us with a 5-star rating if you like what we're doing.
And I'm John Quick. You can follow me on Twitter at @NowQuick.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can follow me on Twitter at Kiaxet, Kiaxet.
We'll see you guys next week. Later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.